And then Toprak is completely down and out. He wants to go and see his daughter. He has a case against him in the Netherlands. If he has another case against him, he won't be able to see his daughter, and he's really fearful of the situation that his daughter is in. But he also realizes that a part of that is his fault. And so he has nothing else left but to go to Selim and say to Selim, please help me. It is not about me. It is about my daughter. But Selim is like, I'm going to use that, you know. So he actually plays into Selim's hands a little bit there. But we see that Toprak is trying his utmost to get a good conversation going with Selim.
Yeah, the power play between men is very evident there throughout the episode. In the end, it ends up in a good note, but the progress is interesting to watch how this power play unfolds.
Yeah. And the key of this constellation work is to not blame our misfortune on the past. Whatever happened in the past, we're not here to find a culprit. Blaming a family or a parent or past trumps and using them for excuses for things that aren't going our way, that's not what we are going to do here. So the thing is, when something comes up from the past that is causing us pain today, it's not about blaming our today's situation because we're just completing the cycle. It is about looking at the past and finding what is it that happened with the intention of unlocking the healing path that comes out of that. So while the birthday party goes on, Toprak's constellation is set up. So it is Sevski's birthday party, and that we see the joy, the celebrations going on the one side, and then on the other side, at the same time, Toprak is having his constellation. And very quickly, it's evident that someone is in prison. And for me, explaining it from a facilitator, how did someone know this? So sometimes for a facilitator, how do we see things? But if we saw the representative, the way the representative sat, you could see he sat as if he was in an imprisoned state. And that's why someone actually could ask the question. And that's how we see that constellation unfold. So Toprak says to, Zaman says to Toprak, so because your forefathers were in prison, you have now imprisoned yourself, isn't it? Because he's going to, Toprak is having his anger outbursts, and he's now imprisoning himself, not being able to see his daughter. So, and his grandfather, was it his grandfather was also imprisoned, so he couldn't see his son either. So we're looking at the repeat pattern, but it's slightly off key. It's not that evident because the one was in real prison. And then we're looking at the prison that we actually create in our lives. And then the healing sentence is, grandfather, I'm just like you. My hands are tied.
Yeah.
I'm alone with no support. I'm far away from my loved ones. And that realization opens up when he realizes the other self is the grandfather that's in prison. And then I loved.
Also very interesting how Toprak,
Carry on.
Sorry, go ahead. What's interesting how Toprak wants to do a constellation for his daughter, because that's his primary focus right now. And then what's revealed is actually the cause of, or the source of this history that's unfolding. And I find it often we go in with an intention, but then the field reveals a different wisdom to us. Very good example of that kind of thing.
But also very good pickup by the facilitator, because healing the situation with the daughter is only a plaster. Going back into where this problem really started is a wise move. And it is important to do the generational work. It is important to look at the ancestral line and not to just try and fix. I use the word fix the current situation.
Yeah.
And so he sets up the whole father's family. And then he stands in the line of men. And isn't that beautiful?
Beautiful scene, yeah.
I love setting up the 7 generations for men or women. It is such a powerful constellation, because for the client, just to receive that power is so massive. So I love it.
Yes, me too.
And then we have the surprise. When someone says, pick somebody for your daughter. And
yes.
he chose, and then the 2 girls get up. They sit next to one another and they get up. And it's like, no, this is not true. This is not happening. But what is very interesting for me there is the 2 girls are of a similar age. And his 2 girls would have been of a similar age too. So if we look at the timing of that, I think that's quite key.
Yeah.
And obviously, that is when Toprak is a little bit sidelined.